All right, good morning, children. And I'm sure this is afternoon for the majority of you. Um, Hopefully you answered the do now by now. What do you know about human resources? You might not know anything. You might know a lot. Hopefully by the end of the slideshow you'll know something. All right. So the objective: discuss the different departments that human resources have. Explain why human resource departments are important to a company. All right, so first we got benefits. All right, so the human resources department can be in charge of employee benefits. So, the benefits, if you don't know, is like health insurance, dental insurance. Um, you can have retirement accounts. You can have any of that kind of thing. All right. So the human resource department is going to be in charge of that. Everyone's going to have a different amount that's covered, depending on your job. A lot of times. Um, but yeah, so if you have any problems with your work, if you're supposed to be in the union, if you're supposed to get health insurance, if you want to change your health insurance, if you want to do anything like that, human resources is going to be in charge of that for the employees. Um, Next is compensation. For those of you that don't know what compensation means, that means pay. All right, so how much you get paid. So for some places there's going to be guides of how much money an employee work makes. Like if you work in a school, as I do, um, there's these steps. So um, they're going to make sure that you're making the correct amount of money on the right step. All right, they're also going to be in charge of your paycheck. So they are going to be making sure that it gets mailed out while the employees' paychecks. So they're going to make sure that the employees' paychecks are mailed out, that they're paying the right taxes, um, that they're getting delivered to the right place, all that kind of stuff. All right. So sometimes there's something called merit pay where you get paid based on how well you do your job. There's commission where you get money based on how much you sell of something. So we have all these different types of compensation, and human resources will be in charge of that, making sure that they get paid. Overtime. Overtime's a big one. People like to get paid for extra stuff for working extra as an hourly worker. So yeah, that's all. Human resources deals with all that. Employee relations. So human resources, the department will deal with anything that happens between employees. If there's any problems, you're going to go to your human resource rep and talk to them. If you have a problem with an employee, if you believe you were harassed or something by a manager, if you think you're doing work you're not supposed to be doing, all that kind of stuff. Um, that's human resources will deal with that. If you have a problem with another employee, if you have a problem where you're working, anything like that, you go to your human resource person, and they're going to try to solve your issues as an employee. All right. So think of human resources. This is more so for a big company. It can work as like a mediator between possible problems. Okay. Employment and recruitment. We're going to be doing an assignment that kind of has to do with employment and recruitment. It kind of works because we just talked about interviewing and how important interviews are. And I enjoyed the videos you guys sent in. Some of you really did well. Others of you. Uh, but we are going to hire and fire people through human resources. Okay, so they're going to be in charge of who's getting hired, um, well, the packages that they get for being hired. They will schedule the interviews a lot of times, and they usually are in charge of firing and doing severance packages and things like that. Okay, so for the most part, it's managers that make the decision on who gets hired and who gets fired, but the human resource department goes through the paperwork and make sure everything is as they think it is. Okay, so human resources most of the time will sit through interviews as well because they want to make sure that there aren't any illegal questions, which we talked about being asked, or if there's any questions with pay or anything like that, that will be human resources and recruitment. So what a lot of times what big companies will do is they'll hire human resource department, and in the human resource department they'll hire recruiters. These recruiters are people that go out and look for talent that will translate into their company. Okay, so if there's like a person looking for, if it's a civil engineering department, or you know, a whatever, they're going to go out and look for civil engineers who need jobs, or if they need you know a salesperson. Okay, they're going to go and try to find good salespeople to come and work for their company. All right, so they'll be in charge of trying to go out and hire good employees and bring them into their company. Uh, what will happen with hospitals is they'll hire recruiters to try to get doctors and nurses and stuff like that to come work for for their hospital. Even if they have a job, sometimes they'll go and recruit them, so to make their hospital better. So that will also be a part of human resource information system. So that'll be databases. That's kind of the um, boring part, dry part of human resources. They'll be in charge of databases. They'll be in charge of keeping everything organized, making sure everyone's getting the benefits and getting the compensation and everything's written down, and taking care of their in case of emergency numbers and all that kind of stuff. Tracking, making sure everything's um, is where it's supposed to be. And then we got training and development. So training and development, if you work for a big company, you'll have you'll go through a 3 month, 4 month training program, which will be run by human resources, and they will be in charge of getting you ready for your job. Um, think of it as like a police academy, if you will, going through the academy. That is, human resources will be in charge of getting that together and making sure that they finish the training and have all the necessary resources for that training. Um, so they will make sure that everyone is has gotten the training that they need, especially for hazardous jobs. They'll make sure that they get the training before they go out on their own.